Vance had run back to the apartment as fast as he could. Vinny in tow, he burst through the door and nearly passed out. "It is okay, Vincent." Johnny picked him up to provide warmth. "Where is Rain?" Still struggling for air, Vance looked up.
"She went after Sam. That thing. It's back."
"Is she all right?"
"I don't know. She threw the kid at me and took off."
Getting up again, he summoned Rose to help him search. Sticking to the alleys, Rain's eyes glinted threateningly. The thought of finding the wounded rider was appealing. Unfortunately, there was no sign. However, it wasn't long before a pair of narrowed eyes found her instead. Sam? Baring hordes of grimdark teeth, the fiend had been half asleep and was not thrilled about being disturbed. Opening its jaws, it went to hiss and ironically stopped as its hat slipped off the side of its head. Momentarily forgetting Rain, it leaned down and tried to coax it back on, only to have it fall off again. Giving a horrible wail, it was the very thing that alerted Vance to Rain's location. "Where's Vincent?" she asked at his approach.
"He's safe. I brought him back to Janny's. She's worried sick about you."
He tried to pull her away, but Rain wouldn't budge. "Can you put the hat on him?" she asked in reference to the fiend who was still nudging it frantically.
"Are you crazy?"
"Give me a tie or something. He can't lose his hat. It's his identity." Vance handed her one with a snap of his fingers.
"What are you gonna do, tie it to him?"
"Damn right I am. There, Hane. That way you can keep it with you." The fiend gave a slight nod and its eyes narrowed toward Vance.
"Fuck you too,"
he hissed. "Don't tell me you guys have your own grimdark code."
"You didn't think those antennas were just for show, did you? It's the one thing all grimdark beings have in common. Unlike me, most of them don't communicate verbally. Think radio telepathy. I guess I forgot to mention that."
"Yeah, you forgot to mention you're a walkie-talkie," she said with a snort. "You came looking for me?"
"Of course I came looking for you. Jenny's worried sick. This disaster is all over the news. I thought you were dead. You went running off like some retard. Rain, what were you thinking?"
"To lead it away from you," she answered flatly. "How could you think I was dead, Vance? I'm a survivor."
"Yeah, and we're in the middle of a fucking alien invasion," he muttered. "That thing is after Shadow Boy. I'm inclined to let it have what it wants. This is not a part of the job description, Rain. I came here to get away from this kind of shit, not get involved in it again."
"No one's asking you to involve yourself. I can't let Sam get captured. It's not fair. His life is bad enough. This guy time travels. He found Soren in the future and tried to take him out, too."
"That's a whole other story,"
Vance had almost forgotten.
"I just assumed stay out of it. Life isn't fair. We all have to deal with that. Soren can handle himself. And if he's from the future, I don't have anything to worry about other than keeping my brother safe. That does not entail chasing after an alien bounty hunter to protect two people who have both tried to kill me in the past."
"I'm not asking you to involve yourself, but I am."
"What about Vinny? How are you going to protect him from Soren? And look at that thing!"
He pointed back at Sam.
"How are you going to defend that? What, you going to chain it to a pole and teach it to fetch?"
"I haven't told Soren about Vincent, and I can defend Sam just fine."
"Rain, you can barely defend yourself. Just come home. I don't want to have to explain this one alone."
"I can defend myself," she said angrily. "I kicked your ass, didn't I?"
"And when was this?"
"I don't remember."
"Yeah, because you just made it up."
Running after her, he shook his head.
"Rain, I led that freaking thing to D.C. last night, and it's back. This isn't some run-of-the-mill demon, okay? Nobody knows what this is. If it's got both Sam and Soren running for the hills, I don't want to tangle with it."
"I could have taken him out. I just needed a better gun."
"What you need is to calm down. Let's just go back to the apartment and we can worry about this in the morning, okay?"
"Fine," she gave in. "But I think it's cute that you're worried about me." Stopping briefly, he arched a brow.
"Whoa, wait a minute. That's a double standard, don't you think?"
"I don't know what you're talking about. I was protecting the two of you."
"Exactly,"
Vance said with a grin as Rose caught up to them and gave an eep.
"Nothing, Rose. Rain here was just saying how much she cares."
"I didn't say that. It was for Vin."
"Protecting the two of you? Those were your exact words, and unless Vinny has an evil twin somewhere... Oh, wait.
"Yeah, well, I don't want the kid to grow up missing his porcupine-headed brother."
"I'll have you know my hair is awesome, so can it, sister."
"I said you look like a porcupine. I didn't say it was ugly."
"Have you ever seen a porcupine? It's like a fucking pincushion with legs."
"You're right. You look more like a hedgehog, maybe."
"Eep. I'm not a rodent."
"I didn't say that."
"No, but she did."
He pointed toward Rose, who batted a pair of violet eyes. "No way. Rose loves you."
"Yeah, well, apparently she's got some competition."
"Oh yeah, I'm dying for you, Vance."
"Famous last words, Miss Alien Hunter."
As the apartment came into view, Rose vanished through a portal, leaving the two of them alone. Janny stood with Vincent as they entered the living room. "You're okay," she said with a look of relief.
"Speak for yourself."
Vance trudged after Rain while Vinny began to reach. Rain, how could you have been so careless? Did you even think about calling me? Janny, it's fine. Soren stepped in. That biker was trashed. He won't come back, and I promise I'll carry a bigger gun.
Yeah, a really big gun.
Vance made his way to the spare bedroom to get some rest. You two should be careful, Janny warned while Rain carried Vincent upstairs and the little boy was out before she had the chance to tuck him in. The night went smoothly, although smooth could have also been interpreted as quiet. Janny's alarm system remained intact, and neither Vance nor Rain woke until the sun came up and a loud bang was heard from downstairs. The scary thing was not the noise so much as it was that when Rain awoke, the baby was not where she'd left him. Rolling on her side, her hands felt the empty space and the sleep drained out of her. Off in the living room, the shadowy fiend lay across the floor, nipping furiously at the beyond-murdered plush of itself. This was somewhat irrelevant, considering the condition the apartment was in. The noise had been made by the fridge, which was toppled. Food sprawled in every direction. Sitting in a puddle of milk, Vinny splashed happily, while the rest of the room looked as if it had just been through World War III. Huge claw marks covered the walls. All of the furniture had been torn to ribbons. Some of it was actually charred. Sam, however, only seemed to take interest in one thing, maiming that plushie.
Sam, what the hell?
Looking up from the toy, he coughed up a wad of cotton and stared as if he had no idea what Rain was talking about.
Look at this place, she screeched. Jenny's gonna be home any minute and you're gonna get us all killed.
Having heard the commotion, Vance emerged with a yawn.
What's going on out? Whoa.
Reaching the top floor landing, he stood beside the banister and his eyes widened.
Holy shit! Did I sleep through the apocalypse?
Vinny wasn't with me when I woke up. I thought someone had taken it. Jenny's gonna kill me. Look at this place.
Where the hell was he?
Vance turned as Sam hissed at him.
A what?
He stared at the creature.
Yeah, right, sure. Give it up, Sam. You totally did this out of spite.
What's he saying? Rain demanded.
He says a Catman did it. Am I getting that right?
Sam gave a nod.
Yeah, okay. He says that something came into the house in the middle of the night and tried to take the baby. So wait, did the Catman decide to help itself to some milk too?
He threw a glance in the direction of the toppled fridge and Sam just kind of shrugged.
Yeah, sure, you don't know. Nice story there, Destructor. You're gonna be in deep shit.
Catman? Rain arched a brow. The alarm system is on. How could anybody but a shadow get past? Climbing over the sofa, Sam nudged something forward that looked like a gigantic piece of metal with odd red parts glistening inside.
What the hell is that?
Vance was hesitant to do anything but stare.
Space aliens, huh? You're telling me that thing cancels sound?
Sam doesn't control fire. Rain noticed the charred portion of the wall. The stove isn't on. Vance, why would he want to drag Vinny out of bed? He can't stand him. This guy knows where we live.
What would he be doing here in the first place, huh, Sam?
Vance still wasn't sure he bought it.
Protecting the baby? Yeah, right. That's a good one. Maybe you can tell that to Jenny. Oh, wait, that's right. She can't understand you. Tough luck there, Sammy. Looks like somebody's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Come on, Vance. He's allowed to come here. Rain looked down at Vincent. Who was in my room?
Adman. Bad man, Vinny?
Vance took his hands and began to spread the boy's fingers.
Was there a bad man in the house?
God damn it, Rain swore. Vincent had been right next to her and she had almost lost him. What'd you do with him, Sam? Providing Vance a bit of a scoff, Sam's attention shifted.
Hey, don't you huff at me. I didn't sign on to be the demon interpreter for the week.
Vance, what did he say? Rain cared little for his unwillingness to translate.
Ugh, he says it took off after trashing the house. He didn't follow it because of the baby. You know, maybe you should just bite her. Then she could understand you and the two of you could have your lame little conversation.
What kind of asshole bounty hunter trashes a place?
Sam said it was a cat man. Have you ever had a cat? Cats are fucking spiteful.
I hate cats. They're pissy little furballs. Take Vin. I'm gonna start cleaning before Janny gets home.
Hey, you haven't seen Leah around, have you?
No, why?
Sam wants you to say goodbye for him.
Vance rolled his eyes, although relayed the message. Can't I just call her over? I mean, she's liked him, even if, high school popularity trumped that.
What's he gonna do, grunt at her? I'm not gonna stand here and play mediator to some sappy Beauty and the Beast bullshit, okay? Besides, that's a face only a mother could love.
You can translate, Rain said flatly.
Forget that. That's a waste of time, energy, and brain power that could be spent elsewhere, like sleeping.
Vance, please just give him this moment. He saved your brother.
I have better things to do.
I'll buy you hair gel, the expensive kind. Bringing a hand to his chin, he thought for a moment. Please?
Ugh, 10 minutes, that's it, and it better be a big fucking bottle.
Rain winked at Sam. Dialing Leah's number, she got her on the second ring. I need you to come over. It's a serious emergency. Bring cleaning supplies, she added. Vance chose to ignore them both until Sam crawled over to stare at him.
Oh, shit. That's a good point. Hey, Rain.
What? She asked as she hung up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Leah doesn't know who I am, does she?
I have to tell her sometime. Now would be a good time to do it. She'll be able to deal with it better if you're nicer to her Sam.
Her Sam?
Clearing her throat, Rain avoided their gaze. I've started watching television. Is that normal to say? Vance exchanged a look with the creature and shook his head.
I've never heard before, and he didn't know he came with a patent.
Please, he's a plushie now, she said as she heard the door. Leah barreled in and her eyes widened. Oh my God, what is he doing here? She asked angrily. I found him and his brother, Rain admitted. I'm helping him. Janny knows. She's cool with it. I wanted to tell you sooner, but the dance. I didn't want you to get mad. Is this what you called me here for? Leah didn't appreciate the dishonesty.
No, actually, that is.
Vance pointed at Sam, who laid there eyeing them. I thought he left.
He was going to, but he wanted to see you off. That's why Rain called. She coerced me into translating for him because saying goodbye to somebody without a voice box doesn't really work.
I thought you didn't want to say goodbye to me. Vance rolled his eyes.
He's just being a mope. He ran out of time and it killed the moment. I mean, he just figured out somebody actually likes him and he turns into that. That would ruin my week, too.
It's okay, she laughed. You're coming back next year, right? The solstice? Sam's gaze dropped further.
He says he's probably not. Better say your goodbyes now. Either that or go back to Greenville and try to recruit his past self. At least he'd look better. I don't know about the smell, though.
I don't want to say goodbye.
Tough luck, sister. What are you gonna do? Put him on a leash and keep him as a pet? Look at that. That is not something you can just explain.
Shut up. Your girlfriend ran out on you.
Yeah, well, I got me another one.
He jerked a thumb toward Rain and Leah looked horrified.
You're seriously dating?
We'll talk later. You two need your business sorted out.
I think they have their business sorted. Your 10 minutes is up.
Vance rose from the sofa.
Now why don't you kiss and have your moment so we can all get on with our lives? Oh wait, I forgot. Sorry there, Sammy. Looks like you're gonna have to omit on the kissing. You might wind up infecting her. Not that she'd want to be licked by the likes of you anyway.
Shut up, Leah snapped. Resting her elbows on her knees, she held out a clover-shaped pin and tacked it to his hat. Here, since you're Irish. That way you can say you're kinda lucky. Nudging her slightly, Sam closed his eyes and turned to creep in the direction the shadows fled. I'll miss you. Leah suddenly felt very human. Hoisting his brother over his shoulder, Vance stepped forward. Something about his expression seemed distant.
Where's Johnny keeping Soren?
Vance, now is not the time to have a grudge match.
No,
he shook his head.
If anybody knows how light affects darkness, he does. Maybe you should go talk to him. He might be able to help.
Can we? Leah wiped her tears away. Come on, we should try. Vance can clean the place in the process.
Yeah, sure, I'd love to.
Starting through an impending storm, the vampires shared a black umbrella. Leah was anxiously toying with her hair while Rain unlocked and disabled the alarm. Soren, you hear? She called as she opened the door. Currently playing with a puzzle book, he had pulled the sheets around his waist, looking slightly less than content as the rain started heavy against the window. Pausing upon their entrance, he set the pen down and turned. Upstairs, doors open. What are you doing up here? Rain peeked in while Leah's eyes lit with curiosity. Currently, not much. Oh, hey, Leah, long time. Soren, you grew. No way, are you on steroids? The facepalm was eminent and he flushed red. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. Time works differently for me. Rain didn't tell you? It's been 3 years since I've been back. Rain hasn't told me a lot of things, Leah sighed. 3 years? That means you must know stuff. Can you help us? She pleaded. Sam has to go. The holiday is over, but Vance said you could bring him back. Slow down there. What's this about, Sam? He said he was only allowed out during the solstice, and it's over. Oh, I know what you're talking about. That stone he has. It permits him a certain amount of leeway, but as the years have gone by, the further it's gotten from its original home, the less sway it's had over the archetype. Do you know where he is? If you bring him here, I might be able to do something. But why, if you don't mind my asking? Rain isn't the only one jonesing for a badass. He left. We don't know where he went. Did he tell you why that thing was chasing him? Soren shook his head. That thing has been chasing us both. Sam can't jump through time on his own, and if the portal was opened, I'd know it. That ship is still out there. It came into our house last night, Rain muttered. It wrecked Jenny's apartment. Sam saved us. What do you mean it came into your house? I don't know. I woke up, something was off, and when I went downstairs, Sam was there and the place was totally trashed. Rain left out Vincent, not one to take chances. You can understand him. Vance translated. Well, if you get a hold of him before sundown, I'll see what I can do. I'd go with you, but apparently storms in you seem to be a running trend. Every time you're around, it pours. Never fails. Story of my life, she quirked her lips. We'll bring him here. Just point us in the right direction. Reaching up, Soren summoned his blade. Holding it over his head, he closed his eyes and the diamond at the top began to give off a faint illumination. Vanishing, it dispersed and he looked back at the vampires. Due east, about 20 minutes from here. A small park, you can't miss it. Oh, and you might want to borrow this. He handed them a device from his pocket that looked like a one-way radio. Give us 10. Meanwhile, having discovered a damp patch of ground, Sam, for whatever reason, was well on his way to digging an enormous hole. The purpose of Soren's device, however, became evident as the girls neared the park and it began to pick up a stray signal that sounded an awful lot like Sam's voice. The transmission only got clearer as the two of them came within range. Poking his head out of the massive trench, he stared into space and the radio relayed his thoughts. I wonder if I can get to China. Holding it to her ear, Rain frowned. Sam? She called experimentally.
Sam, can you hear us?
Leah interjected as she caught the dumb remark. Turning his head, he not only heard them, he saw them coming. Busted. Aw, man, what is it now? Slinking into the ditch, he tried to avoid notice. Kinda conspicuous. This better not be about that meat keeper. I left the damn turkey alone. Sam, I have Leah with me. Wren pretended she didn't hear. Yes, of course you do, because one sob story wasn't enough. Man, where's Matt when you need him? $10 would swear these girls get some kind of bitch high off their own emotions. Maybe they won't notice. It's a pretty deep hole. Sam, you know Leah's really upset you're leaving. You didn't even tell her you're gonna miss her, Wren mused into the microphone. Miss her? They stick around too long, I might wind up eating her. That would suck. I am kinda hungry, though. Do vampires taste like chicken? Probably shouldn't be thinking that. Oh well, it's not as if anybody can hear me anyway. Congratulations, Sam, you've been demoted to the voice inside your own head. Your consolation prize, a brain aneurysm to be followed shortly by complete and utter insanity. Thanks for playing! Hey Sam, do you even like Leah? Wren kept the charade going. Is she on dope? Maybe I can get her to share. That'd be awesome. Until the lights go out. Fuck my life. Do I like Leah? Yeah, sure, why not? I can hear Matt now. Geez, Sam, you finally got a girl. Too bad it had to be over your own dead body. I'd love to find the shithead who invented that phrase. Sam, we can hear everything you're saying. Rain stared down from above the hole. Shaking his head, his eyes widened. No, you can't. Hey, Sam. Leah held up the device. Think something. Did she just ask me to think something? He jumped as the sound of his own voice came through the microphone. What the? That's some crazy voodoo shit! Yeah, we're voodoo priestesses, don't you know? Oh my god, thought rape! Come on, Soren's gonna help you. We just use this to find you, so the faster you move, the faster we can stop listening. What's this about, Fish Kid? He can help you, Leah sighed. We're wasting daylight, Sam, let's go. It can only happen before dusk. What's he supposed to help me with? I'm already beautiful. Don't you want more time to yourself? He's offering you a chance. You're just gonna walk away? Maybe you want to show me where he's at? Contrary to popular belief, I don't actually know where I'm going. Hold Leah's hand, then, Rain said as she turned. If I hold her hand, I'm gonna take it off. Sam looked down at his claws, which probably would have done just that. Man, really missing opposable thumbs right now. Some clothes would be nice, too. Stop, Rain muttered. Just follow the sound of my voice. Follow the sound of your voice? What's that, like follow the yellow brick rain? He snickered and began to recite the song just to piss them off. I always knew you were a little weird, but do you really have to admit your queerness by singing? Hey, I dare you to find someone who doesn't start thinking of that stupid song the moment somebody mentions the Wizard of Oz. And I'm not gay, that would be Matt. Then again, I'm still trying to figure out what team your boyfriend bats for. Vance isn't gay, Sam. If Vance were any more flaming, he'd be on fire. I wonder if she realizes I could snap her in half like a stick, he thought to himself. Chewy piece of vampire jerky? Man, I am hungry. Shut up, Rain snapped. Control yourself. Besides, I'd give you indigestion. Staring her down, he actually seemed to be contemplating the thought, and what came through the radio amounted to a good deal of gurgling static. Sam, come on, you can eat later, Leah said while Rain quickened her pace. The static continued for a second before ceasing. I don't want to eat later. Later means the dumpster and back at McDonald's, he grumbled as the house drew into view. Still slaving over the puzzle book, Soren put it down at the sound of their voices. You mind if I get a minute with him? Alone? He asked. Go on, Hayne. We'll be right outside. Leah closed the door and Soren waited until they had left before addressing Sam. You know why I limited you in the first place, don't you? Yeah. Leah wants me to give you full range again, but how can I be sure you're not going to go on a free-for-all? Dude, that was a long time ago. Technically speaking, it hasn't even happened yet. I know you've already run your mouth about the future. You can't do that, Sam. This is your mess to begin with. Yeah, well, if you and your stupid cousin hadn't messed me up in the first place, I could have killed that raving yahoo before it got this bad. Soren's expression didn't falter. We cracked down on you because you abused what you were given. We both know the archetype doesn't have an agenda. As long as you cause as much damage as possible, it's generally willing to let you. Sam did not respond. We intervened because of how well you played that role, and how good you are at playing the victim. You saw what happens to Vance, Sam. I don't want to banish you, but if I give you free range again and you go wild, I might have to. The only thing I'm gonna do is run that crazy bastard into the dirt where he belongs. Then you and I can go back to our own time and forget this ever happened. You already know what needs to be done. You just don't want to accept it. There's a difference. Now I know Leah likes you, and I know this situation isn't entirely your fault, but if I trust you with this, don't disappoint me. Sam said nothing while Soren summoned his blade. You better have some self-control. The more you steep into that stuff, the less you're going to be able to walk away from it later. I know that. Just keep it in mind, and at least try and appreciate what other people are doing for you. There came a bright flash from the stairs as Soren reluctantly appeased him. When it cleared, Sam was himself again, or at least partially. He still held physical attributes in line with the shadow, including claws, his tail, and 2 curved antennae that ran back off his head. Reaching into his pocket, he pulled out his sunglasses. Both eyes remained a pupilless neon gold. Behave yourself this time, Soren pleaded, though all he got in response was a grin. I mean it, Sam. Chill out, dude, I got this. Etching a claw along the doorknob, it turned by itself and slid open. Yeah, I can see that. Do you mind asking one of the others to bring me something to drink? I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded. Yeah, sure, whatever. Removing Vance's tie from his head, he reset his hat normally and waltzed into the kitchen to help himself to the fridge. Hearing him coming, Rain stopped talking. Miss me? He tossed the tie in her direction. Here, give this disgusting thing back to Creepazoid. Oh, and by the way, Fish Kid wants some water. I think somebody should bring him some before he shrivels up and dies. You're back to normal and more annoying than usual. Hey, that's my job. Where's my thank you? Leah asked as she regarded him. Oh yeah. Thanks for the pin, it's cool. Didn't I just beg for you to be semi-normal again? Wait, did you? Wow, that's dedication. Why couldn't you have been that dedicated back in Greenville? You know, you might have inadvertently stopped this whole shitfest from happening. Maybe you should have taken the initiative, she suggested. Initiative? Look, Leah, no offense, but girls weren't really on my to-do list back then. Besides, it's not like you ever did anything but harass me. Come on, didn't you ever hear that girls pick on the boys they like? Sam looked even more confused. How the shit does that make any sense? No one ever said it did, but would it have killed you to pick up the hints? I did invite you to my party. If I recall that one correctly, you invited Matt and asked him to bring me so we could discuss what to do with Rorik. And what are you talking about hints? You were Miss-freaking Popular. I was #1 on the dean's list for all the wrong reasons. There were no hints. Besides, when your whole life is pot and sleep, you don't tend to pick up on things, especially not things that run through a teenage girl's head. That's terrifying, and trust me, I know from fear. I couldn't just date you, Sam. Leah ate the crust off her sandwich separately. I mean, people would talk, and how would we even work out? How are we gonna work out now? You're cool and all, for a girl, but... He looked down at his claws. I think my relationship days are over. Back upstairs, Soren stared nervously at his weapon. Regarding him from the doorway, Rain held out a glass. Worried? Taking it from her, he brandished a faulty smile. You could say that. Sam's a good guy, but he's got a real issue when it comes to authorities. Ryan and I imposed restrictions on him for a reason. Not that he would purposely hurt anyone, but sometimes accidents happen. Leah can handle herself. She is my friend. Leah's not the one I'm worried about. You're worried about Sam? What's he gonna do? I don't know. That's part of the problem. I'm not really supposed to talk about the future, but I will say this. Part of the reason Ryan and I were so busy after what happened at that laboratory had to do with Sam and his behavior. I gave him that stone so the archetype wouldn't be able to control his consciousness. The problem is, it didn't have to. You don't give that kind of power to someone like Sam. It's like giving an anarchist a nuclear bomb. He abused it. Badly. The reason he was stuck like that is because Ryan and I put a hold on his powers. If he couldn't present himself, he'd have to stay away from people. I don't know if it was a good idea to give him back the capabilities that put us in this situation to begin with, but he might honestly be the only one who can stop this. Rain looked back at the door. He really tried hard to be the good guy. I'm not saying he didn't, but half the time, I couldn't tell what was the archetype and what was just him pretending to be. Rain shifted her stance. She knew Sam was a wild card, and Soren's worry transferred. I wouldn't be able to stop him if he went that far. That's the problem, he replied. Nobody would. Back downstairs, Sam took note of Leah's expression and rolled his eyes. Getting up, he reached out to pull an apple from a large fruit dish on the counter. Hey, you want to see something cool? Tossing it into the air, he caught it again and ran his claws along its sides in various directions. The skin melted away to resemble a pumpkin-toothed grin while the apple began to cook. What, are you a magician now? Halloween is over. It's November 1st, sue me. The flames burned until the apple disintegrated in a pile of mush. I just got a new lease on life. I think I'm entitled to have a good time. Speaking of which, Sam brought a hand to his chin and a dark grin crossed his face.
I believe some payback is in order, and I know just who to send it to.